right, so I figured it out. I've had to use my brain to figure out how to open the tube. And so now we're gonna start. So just like with the brushes, the paint sets also mark that, you know, they're watercolor or acrylic. I was just not paying attention. So we know what we're gonna use now, and we're just gonna get started officially. So let's begin. Okay. So I got me some linseed oil, as I mentioned earlier. Let's open those up. And I have our windows is usually open. But you can see that. Oh, it's devised that, you know, for safety reasons, that you have your windows open so that you're not inhaling all the chemicals and stuff. So there's a lot of things that you have to be mindful of when being an artist. Because God forbid you don't want yourself to get, you know, ill because you're trying to paint. So always use caution and make sure that this is a reminder for me, and making sure that I use my tools and make sure that I store them properly and maintain them. So yeah, let's get started. As I mentioned so many times now. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's start with the palette, so we can see which color this was, because I don't exactly remember. Okay. So I know right off the top that it could be a little bit of Yellow Orchard. So let's do that. Okay. Had to be very, very savvy when figuring out how to. Ooh, it's like really oily. Don't necessarily like that texture right now, but okay, we move. And then we could try some orange, maybe? Some orange yellow. See how that goes. Okay. And I don't know, what other color should we use? Let's see. Maybe I used Maybe I use some raw sienna. Oh, I just realized I was really close. Maybe I use some raw sienna. Let's try that. Okay, and now that we've done that, maybe, just saying maybe because we're just testing this out. Maybe I used burnt umber. So just using these similar colors because it seemed like it would work. So let's try them out. They seem like the closest to what I have here. So let's figure it out. Okay, put that here. All right. Okay, so now that I have those, we're gonna have to figure out how to dispose these properly, just, you know, for safety reasons. Okay. So I was told that you should store your linseed oil. Like, you gotta be mindful of the temperature and stuff like that. In a cool place, and also in a case that, you know, that's not gonna cause any problems. Because, God forbid, you know, if you don't know how to use these items, then it seriously, and God forbid, get yourself in a pickle. So I don't want that for myself. And I just realized that I bought a really big jar. And I did not mean to do that. And so now I know 500 ml, is that milligram? I apologize for my lack of knowledge of this right now. But yeah, I really didn't expect it to be this big. And so I don't know if I can still use it, to be honest. But, you know, I have it. And if in case in the future I have a lot of linseed oil, because right now I only have this much. And this is really big. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's, you live and you learn, right? That's interesting. Cool. Okay. That's something. Just gonna wrap that back up, because I don't really need that big thing right now. So I may have to return it. We'll see. Because I do get something smaller, like way smaller. Okay, we're just gonna have to use it from here. And yeah. So let's see. Oh yeah, I said we're gonna mix the colors, so let's mix the colors. So this is the palette. I have all the colors that I mentioned earlier here. Now we're just gonna figure out, you know, which one matches that, and then we'll start applying it. So I'm mixing the orange yellow with one of the browns. So this is the consistency it's giving me. I don't think it really matches this, so we'll just have to keep experimenting. I got to dispose this downstairs. Okay, now that I've added the burnt umber, this is the color that I have now. It seems like it's a little too brown. But then again, the pot was brown. It's just, I want to keep this undertone here, so we're just gonna have to again experiment and find the mixture that we're looking for. So I might need to like do some so I'm gonna use my small brush just, you know, to do the little details, and we'll go from there. So maybe I could use some red in this, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get the right color. So far I've added yellow, I've added brown, and now I'm gonna add some red. We're just experimenting. And we'll see if that works out. Okay, let's mix that in. So it has like this yellow undertone. Okay, I'm not really liking it. So I don't really know if it's what I want to be honest. With you. Just mixing all these colors together and seeing what we get. So it might be too orangey or something right now. The bristles is very hard, so I think mixing it and some oil will loosen it up. So I'm gonna do that. It's kind of hard to open this bottle right now. Don't have long nails, so it's a struggle. Okay. You're just continuing to figure out how to problem solve this whole setup. Just gotta figure out how to problem solve. Otherwise, you'll just be confused on what to do. So try it out and see. And I gotta be careful not to spill this linseed oil. So that would be a disaster. We don't want that. I don't want that. I'm trying to figure out how to make this more loose. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's try a little bit of it on it. Let's see, like here, for example. Okay, it's like blending in. So I think that's a good sign. Now we just gotta gonna have to go on this. It's already dry, so I'm just like trying to bring out like this part. I'm just trying to bring it out and make it more prominent, right? A little closer. Bring this a little closer to me. Make it easier for me. Of course, this would be way easier if I had my my reference photo, but I don't, so again, we'll just have to do what we can. This is the consistency that I need, so we're just working with that. And again, it seems to be working, so I'm really glad, very glad for that. I gotta try not to move this way too much and be careful. It's silent because I'm just trying to focus. That's how I get. And of course, you might know that's how painters get and artists get when they're just, doing their thing. So, not much talking going on. Again, I'm just trying to accentuate what's already there and not do too much. That's what I'm doing. I just keep applying more layers to it so that you can see it. And as you may know, it does take time for this to dry, so you won't see, of course, when it dries, but you'll see once I'm done. And then, I'll show you how it looks once it dries. I feel like this is already off center. Or maybe I'm just looking at it like that. Anyways, again, I'm just following what's already there. So, just like very careful brush strokes. Very careful. And trying to keep the design. Ooh. Okay, we're still here. Okay, cool. I don't have that much battery, so my phone will need to be charged soon. Hopefully I can be able to get this done before I have to put it in charge. Okay, now we're gonna continue. I don't really know if you can see that. Bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. Just like very carefully doing these formations on the canvas. And again, trying to follow what's already there. So, yeah. Okay. Read that now. And just trying to follow what's already there. So I'm not really doing too much. I am just making this more prominent, which is the goal, so that you can see it and it could look nicer. So yeah. That's the goal. This takes time, so just taking my time. Get it done. Okay, it looks not bad so far. Just really trying not to mess up this. And keep it. To be honest, this is not the most comfortable setup, but it's what we got. So we're gonna make it work. Yeah. I've been advised to follow shape, so I'm gonna try to implement that so that what's underneath is still there. It's just now covered up by the paint. And I may or may not have to do another layer of this. So we'll see. So as I said, when I'm filming, it's like a whole production that I have to do because it takes time to do that. And so I have to plan how I'm gonna get it done. And then I just start. This is moving a lot. So I don't really like that. I have to like hold it still while I still paint. Very light strokes, very light, not too much. And yeah, I don't know if they're really even. If I had figured out how to set up the stand, I think we would have been able to really figure this out. You know, but since that's not the case, I just have to work on the fly and just do what I can. So that's all I could ask of myself right now. So I'm just doing this based on what's already here and based on artistic choice, honestly, because again, I don't have a reference to follow, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, so all right, I hope you can see it more now. I think it's coming together. And I'm just being very careful with my strokes and the way that I'm holding this brush, that you see every little detail that was like under it. I'm just making it more prominent now so that you see it more. And yeah, that's all that I'm doing. And this canvas keeps moving around. It's unfortunate, truly. Don't want that to happen, but it is what it is. Oh, I hope that's dry paint. Yeah, it seems dry. Okay. Okay. So essentially capturing the essence of this pot. I hope I'm not getting any smudges anywhere. I really have to be careful of that. So that's something that I'm honestly have to think about. I'm trying to do this pot. I had to like, well, when I was taking the class, the oil painting class, I kept like getting all the, well, no, there's not that much on here, but I kept getting like smudges. And again, I'm still learning how to do every little thing, honestly. And this is one of them. So you live and you learn. And now I feel like I'm like really aware. Okay, where am I placing my hand on this canvas? And I'm very careful to again keep the essence of what's under, and then we'll just have to keep layering it, and then we'll have the final product, which is so exciting. I'm so grateful for, you know, being patient with myself and for all the guidance I've received so far on my career as an artist. And yeah, truly I'm blessed to be in this situation. This is not easy. It's not easy at all. And I don't want to take that for granted. And so I gotta remember to be grateful, to be humble. And just take it one step at a time. Because that's all we could do. Again, I'm just trying to follow what's already there. Like following like what direction it went. Just to be able to keep what's going on there. Okay, that coming together? I think so. Whew. This is a lot. You need a lot of patience to be able to paint. Because it's not just going to happen just because you want it to. So therefore, you really gotta be ready to put the time in. So just to film this video today, I did the first part, which was the unboxing, and that took me like almost an hour. And now I'm doing the painting, and that's taking me it's almost been 40 minutes now. And I might have to stop because I do need to charge my phone. And so you might have to pause a bit until let it charge. And once it charged, then I can be able to continue. So I'm just trying to get as much as I can done before it dies on me. I don't really know how much. Let's see how much we have. Like, okay, you have like 13%. You didn't need to know that, but I told you anyways. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. That was, things happen. Okay. So be careful. I hope I didn't ruin anything. Because it's still wet. Okay. That was a disaster. But they try to save it. Yeah, I'll just have to go over whatever spot that, might have gotten smudged just now. And yeah, once we do that, okay. How's it coming along? Is it looking good? Excuse me. Well, you can't tell me, so I think it's looking pretty okay. It's looking pretty good. Okay. So it's really interesting how life happens. You know, I've always been a creative person, but truly singing was really what I thought I wanted to do, but since I'm not really a public person, so that was like um well, that was well, that was going to be something that, you know, I wasn't going to pursue professionally. Though I did attend what's the name? A performing art high school. You know, I didn't really have the guts to go and pursue music after high school. Little by little, surprisingly, I'm making my way back to everything that I, you know, including art, because I would do that like seldom, you know, in the past, and it really got, you know, to be something that I got more passionate in once I started into comic books and animation, and so my interest grew, and so wanting to know how to do it myself, now I'm like, yeah, I gotta try this out. So here I am doing it. So I like I mentioned earlier, we might have to stop for a bit, but this is what it looks like so far. You know, we don't have as much sunlight as before, so I hope you can still see this. I think it's looking pretty good. So we're gonna do what we can, maybe for the bottom, and again, we gotta stop because we have about like 10 minutes, 10% 10 minutes, 10% on my phone, and I have to stop so that I can charge it. So yeah, let's continue checking. Gotta hold this. I made like these brush strokes. So just gonna try to keep them there. Again, not trying to do much, just trying to keep what's already there. Just adding more color. So I'm being very careful to not mess the pattern that's already there. Yeah. Okay. I really am hoping to finish this today, because again, doing this is a whole production that I have to do every time I'm going to paint from now on, and so I would really like to not have to come back to this as it would be easier for me to just finish the video and yeah, move on to the next project. That would be really nice. And since I do need to charge this phone, which actually I think I have a setup on how to charge it while it's still on here. So let me get that and then we'll continue working. Okay. So I have my trusty portable charger with me. We're gonna use that to help us focus on finishing this painting. I'm hoping this setup works. I see, does it have charge? Yeah, it does. Okay, I'm gonna plug it in. And now it's charging and we can continue what we were doing. So we're gonna add some more color here. Try to blend the rest with it somehow. Get like one thing. How's that looking? I think it's looking pretty good. Okay. These crosses right here. Since this is pretty long, so almost an hour by itself for this painting video, I think I was going to do another project, but now I'm gonna just upload this painting, and I'll also upload the unboxing. So that's gonna be the plan for this week, and then next week, Lord willing, I will do the other project I was thinking about. So that's gonna be exciting stuff. All right, as I mentioned, this is not the most comfortable setup. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? To make it work for yourself. This is what I'm doing to make it work for myself. I think it's coming out pretty good. After I let this coat dry, I think I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna do the second coat. And add that on there and see how it looks. See. Right. Just catching those details in there. Yeah. We try to make those X's come out of this pot. Might have to do some more mixing. Just to be able to capture some of these X's. Right? So it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Just lightly topping. Lightly topping. Try to blend it in. Not doing too much so that, again, we're not erasing what's underneath. We're just trying to accentuate it. Okay, I hope you can still see that under there. Lightly tapping, just lightly. Just like that, we'll cover everything up. Just like that. Yeah. Everything will go smoothly with each other. Like that. They'll blend together. What do you think? Too much? Or just enough? Too much or just enough? Okay, again, I'm just capturing what's underneath. So I'm not trying to erase it. Whew, my. All right. Let's get these on there. Okay. Just using very little paint, and I think it's working. So, yeah. I wish I had like something to hold this up properly. Excuse the sound, I'm a little famished. So I have to get myself something to eat soon. I hope the patterns are still there. I don't know if you could see them, but I'm trying my best to keep it there. Just very gently, very lightly, trying to keep it there. Okay, I think it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Got a whole setup here. I don't have to worry about my phone dying. I made sure I invested in a portable charger, so I'm so grateful for that. Now I don't have to worry. Really try to capture what's underneath. And so this is a final result. Okay, I'm losing light here, so hope you can still see somewhat. I had more light earlier, but I started this video a while ago now, and wow, we've come a long way. I'm grateful that we have come a long way. I really like the, excuse me once again. I really like the brown underneath. Trying my best to bring out the excess. I don't know if you can really see them though. But I tried to show you there's texture here and there's a pattern. Although I need more paint to make it more visible. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. This is how it looks. So again, I'm losing light, so I don't really know if you can see this very well. So I will have to take an up-close picture at another time so that you can really see the details of it all. I can really show you how this really looks. That color. I'm really glad I was able to come up with the combination for this. Now, you see, that's how you learn. I just experimented and I got the color I wanted. And right away at that, I'm glad, I'm really glad, so that I didn't have to spend too much time figuring out what is this color. So I'm really glad for that. And I'm not trying to erase what's underneath, so I have to be really careful when applying this. I don't want to lose what's underneath. I want you to still see. I don't know if you heard that, but I want you to still see that it's a pot. And so, therefore, trying to keep that texture alive as best as I can. Right? As best as I can. So, add color. Too much. Again, we don't want to erase what's underneath. Just want to accentuate it. As best as we can. Okay, this is how it's looking. It's looking pretty good, and I didn't even use that much paint, so it's very remarkable, really, how I was able to do that. Bless me. And now, just gotta careful not to get this on That's to not mess what's already there. Not easy because these are supposed to be very small strokes. Very small. So I'm trying my very best to capture them. Again, I hope you can hear me. Right. Over here. Okay. It's not the cleanest, really, but to capture those little details. Wish I had like a smaller brush. But again, I'm doing what I can with what I have. And that's how we're gonna go about it. Okay. So be careful now not to overstep it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Again, we're only doing what we can. And the pot might be a bit off center, to be honest. Hey, you know, hey. All right. So, I think I've done that. So try to make the inside look a little bit better, right? It's not looking that good to me, honestly. Okay. The inside of the pie is looking interesting. Yeah, I don't want to waste paint. But I do need to that's a bad idea to mix all of that together. Let's see. Again, I might have to return that because that little jar that I got, not so little. I can't really use it because of the way that it is right now. But let's add some white to our, and then we're gonna stop for today, and we finish the painting. You gotta let it dry now, and